Welcome back to another episode of From the Petty Corner. I'm your host, Petty, and I have another exciting guest here with me today. He is a light heavyweight contender fighting June 28th at Power Slap 8 in Las Vegas. He can fix your car or knock you out with a slap. I'm not really sure if his name comes from being a mechanic or a hitman. Either way, he's one of the most exciting guys to watch in Power Slap. Ladies and gentlemen, Vernon, the mechanic, Kathy. Welcome to the corner. I'm so excited to have you here today. And I know everyone's going to be asking you about Power Slap 8 and what your thoughts are, your things about your opponent and things like that. And we'll get in all of that. But this is the petty corner. So we do have to get a little bit petty first.
Oh, go ahead.
You were on the road to the title. And there's one person in particular that had joined the house after everybody else did. Amir joined a couple weeks after everyone else. And that ticked you off. You went off about him, how he didn't have to spend time away from his family, and like he was able to have his phone and all that. Like, why did that bother you so much?
It's just because, like, I mean, if you're going to be there, be there. If you're not, you're not. It's like any other job, I just felt like it's the guy that's like, oh, the job's done, and oh, here I am. I'm good. We got all that done. I didn't like it, and he was just kind of an arrogant asshole. And I mean, whatever. That's what you got to be a fighter or be in any sport. You got to be pretty arrogant. But it was just nuts because, like, when I was sitting in my room and I heard them like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know. He goes, I don't know. They brought me in to go against some guy named Vern." And I was like, "No, not this guy." So yeah, it just pissed me off.
You're like, it ain't me. But hey, you got the knockout win, so hopefully you got the satisfaction out of that.
Yeah, it was good. Nothing against Amir. It's just a wrong place, right time.
Yeah. Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong, but had Turp Daddy Slim made weight last time against Wolverine, he would have the belt right now, and you'd be fighting for a belt. Like, you'd have another contention, like a shot for the belt right now.
Yes, yeah. If he would have made weight, this would have been a title match.
Okay. So do you have anything you want to say to him for taking that chance away from you from getting the belt because he missed weight on his last match?
No, I mean, I'm just be professional, show up and do your job, I mean, regardless of it, it's just like anything else. Little things affect other people, and this is just a moment where it affected me. Am I mad at him? No. I mean, I'm just focused on this match, and we'll go from there. And if I win this one, I'm assuming I have a title match. So, just another stepping stone. I'm fine with it.
Hey, you're being really nice right now. Like, this is the petty corner. So if you want to talk your shit, go ahead.
We'll get there. I mean, just keep on asking questions. We'll see what happens.
He called you Virginia. Do you have a response to that?
Man, I tell you, the best response I can say is if you're a dude, you like it. If you're a girl, you got it. So whatever. I mean, everyone knows I'm not a pussy. I know what he's saying. He's like, oh, pussy Vern.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm the last guy that anyone thinks is a pussy. And, he's just trying to poke fun at me. And, Turp Daddy not so slim, he just does his thing. So we'll see what happens on weigh-in.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I got some special stuff coming in for the weigh-in, so we'll see. When we have our face off, it'll be pretty comical, I think, because he's known for doing stuff like that too. He did the bearded bitch with Ron once, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I want a front row seat to that. Okay, so if you could face off against any celebrity, is there one celebrity that you can't stand that you would just love to slap the shit out of and have a match in Power Slap against?
God, man, I'm probably going to get, canceled for this, but I can't say it. I mean, most of them are just women. There's a lot of women on The View and things like that I don't like. But as of a dude, here lately, Robert De Niro on his wokeness, it's like, oh my God, who cares? Let's see, anyone that's about my age that's a jackass. Man.
Well, if like height, age, weight, and any of that didn't matter, it could be anybody.
Man, I don't know if there's anyone that really pisses me off to that point. Man, you asked me a question. I'm just, I'm mad in the moment. Like I'm a violent guy in the moment. So that's my problem. Is I'm like happy, 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 violent. So
Well, how about this one? How about Jordy Nelson? Because you guys that like you grew up
oh, that
racing him,
is
right?
so funny you bring that up. There's no way I'd want to hit that guy. He is the best guy in the world, the nicest guy, great family. No, he is the last person on my list I'd want to hit.
But just like competitive nature, just kind of like because you guys had like a childhood, like you guys raced against each other. Maybe that might be like an exciting one. Maybe not one that you would want to hit, but it could be exciting.
It'd be a fan favorite, but I don't think Jordy's going to do it. His contracts and his money, he's made it. He's not there to. He's got a ranch and deals with cows now. So, uh,
Yeah, well, he's definitely one of the goats. I'll say that.
yes, yes, he is.
Who has the softest hands that do you think that you've been hit by?
The softest hands,
Yeah, and that might take somebody off, but
dude. Honestly, AJ. And yes, I know he knocked me down. I know what happened. It was a mistake on my part, and obviously it hasn't happened since because I ate one from Allen. He didn't drop me till my second one. I ate two from Delvin. AJ, it was just he went on two. I thought he was going on three. I was not ready, but that was my fault. But yeah, AJ, he's got soft hands. I don't know. Yeah, he knocked me down, but yeah, whatever. Everyone gets lucky.
I'd love to see a rematch, honestly.
Dude, he's down to 175 pounds.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
he's
So what weight class is that?
that's like where Manny and yeah.
Manny. Yeah.
So maybe
Wow.
he's going for Manny. I don't know. I do what the boss tells me. And the boss tells me to be 205. And when the boss tells me to
Yeah.
be 225, I'll be 225. When they say 185, I'll be 185.
See, that sounds like some real Hitman shit. I don't know the details. The boss just tells me, and I show up.
Dude, I am everyone's probably like negotiating their contract, all that. It's all like I'm like, okay, what date is it? And they're like, okay, do you want to know who? I'm like, I don't care. Like, there's been some matches that didn't happen, and it wasn't my fault. I was just like, yeah, I'll do it. I don't care. So
I feel like the matchmakers and Dana probably respect that more. They like company men and people who are just like, will do it and do whatever to like help better the the company, and they never say no.
yeah, well, I
They
mean,
never
what's
turn
what's
down
the
shit.
point? That's why we're here. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
To be great.
Yeah, would I like some more money? Of course, everyone would. But is the money going to stop me from competing? No.
But I mean, you keep taking those fights eventually, that's all going to come.
Yep. Yep.
And what I don't get too is like Power Slap is still so small that as it grows, there's going to be a lot more competitors, and then those calls are going to stop coming in, and they're going to remember the people who turned it down or didn't answer the phone when they called. They're going to call people like you who never turned down anything.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I am. And this whole shit of me being old. Oh my god. What? Who gives a fuck? How many like young guys do I need to knock out? How many old guys do I need to knock out? Like, I mean, just look at some of the guys in the UFC. I mean, age, yes, it affects some people, not all of us. I mean, there's some of us that like, you know, go into our 50s and still are one bad motherfucker. So, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
on that list, and I'm sorry people can hate me for saying that, but I mean, my hair, my hair's not gray. It's just my face. I don't know what's going on, but who cares?
Hey, but I feel like Power Slap is different than like the UFC and like other combat sports because like uh, I don't want to say you just stand there, but like in the UFC, like you're constantly moving, cutting the ring off, and just either
Yeah,
try to
yeah.
attack your
There's
opponent or
different
get away from
aspects.
them. So you're constantly
Yeah,
moving.
there's
So
different
that
aspects
kind
to
of
it.
slows older people down. But where Power Slap, you're at a podium and you just
I
have to
don't I don't know if it slows older
wind up
people
them.
down or it just makes them less dedicated. And me, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
If I have the contract and this is what you need, that's what I do. Like, it's not going to affect me, you know. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you were on Road to the Title, and I really enjoyed watching the Road to the Title. Although sometimes it reminded me of like Bad Girls Club because there was people like throwing mattresses out and people stuff in the pool, and like people get real petty and shit like that. But what I truly did enjoy watching most is every time there was a matchup, you kind of got to see like a behind the scenes of the striker and their family, and there was like home clips and everything like that. There was a video of you and your fiance, and I believe your three kids and her one kid.
Yep.
Um, do you have an update for us? Are you finally married?
I am married. Yes, I am. I'm spoken for. So yes. Yep.
Well,
Thank
congratulations.
you.
Do you guys want any more kids?
No, that's the only time I'm
No.
going to say I'm an old man. It's because I'm too old.
So you grew up in Kansas
Yep.
on a farm.
Hmm.
Do you still live there now?
Yeah, my parents live about a mile and a half away from me. Yeah, we still have farm ground. My dad farms and has a shop, and yeah, so I've been here my whole life, and I'll stay in this area. I'll build a house here in a few years around here. So yeah.
So growing up on a farm, I feel like that it kind of like molds you into like a different kind of person. Like you're more tough. I don't want to say like rough around the edges, but like they're usually like more strongman, more rough, and everything like that. Do you feel like that's helped you have like a better mindset and your abilities to do things in Power Slap?
Yeah. My dad was a great guy, and he was just, instilled in me to work hard and just, do what you have to do. And I think growing up on a farm in the Midwest, just like John Davis, he grew up on a farm. We just, I hate to say it, but we're different. We'll do things other people won't do. Uh, weather doesn't affect us. We just work. We just do. So, and in a fighting aspect, even like, you look at Conor McGregor, he's from a small town in, Ireland, and you're just different. You're like, okay, yeah, what do we got to do? It's like, it's all it is about making sure you're going to get shit done.
Do you feel like being raised on a farm kind of what led you to doing the Highland Games? Because the Highland Games is kind of like a decathlon, but for strongmen, right? So when I think of men working on farm, like I do think about strong men because it's a lot of like labor and like heavy duty work and stuff like that. So do you feel like that like helped you prepare for the Highland Games and that kind of like pushed you in that aspect, or like what took you there?
Honestly, it was, what took me there is I had some great friends that I met, Doug and Jared Cressley, and they just, one thing led to another, and I started doing it, and I was fortunate. I ran track, and I had some track background, so I knew how to do that, and I just enjoyed the camaraderie and just everything about it. So I did the Highland Games, and I did like grip strength competitions and some powerlifting meets. I just enjoyed knowing that I was like the strongest guy around, or the toughest guy. I think it's just everything build me up for my life. And there's not anyone around here that's like, oh, Vern's not very tough. Like, that's never a question. I just enjoy that. So that's what led me to that, is like, what's another thing that could make me badass? And this is just my whole life progression, is like, how can I do something to make me badass? I've gone skydiving, I've done this, I've done that. Like, I'm going to get my pilot's license. I just want my whole life. I just want, when I get older, my whole goal is little kids that know who I am later when I'm like an old man. They're like, man, did you hear about Vern back in the day? Or like, let's get online and look up Vern, and like, this is what he did. So that's why I do what I do, is so my grandkids, you know, when I have them, they're like, man, Grandpa Vern was a badass. Is my whole goal.
Yeah, to leave a legacy behind for them.
Yep.
Did you play any other sports besides track and powerlifting?
Yeah, I played football, ran track. I played baseball when I was younger. I wrestled. I did a lot of things, but I pretty much was football and track.
Do you have any like other combat sports background?
Yeah, I did MMA for a few years. Yep.
Oh, that's fun. So, okay, so you did track and then you did football and MMA and wrestling and all that and working on a farm. So, like, how did that lead you to Power Slap? So, Like, did you show up to an exhibition, or did like someone reach out to you, or like how did that all go down?
It's actually because of Devin Schwan, the first guy I knocked out. We were supposed to have
Mm-hmm.
an MMA fight years ago. Didn't happen. We were supposed to have a bare knuckle fight. That didn't happen. So we just kept on missing each other. And then he messaged me and was like, "Hey, you're going to get a phone call from this person. Just say yes. I don't really know exactly what it's about, but it has to do something with the UFC." And when when I got called, I was like, "Yeah, whatever you want me to do." And one thing led to another, and it was just me and him.
That's so badass. Honestly, because I love combat sports, but like you'll never find me in a cage or on a stage.
It only hurts for a little
Or
bit. So just yeah, it only hurts for a little bit. And you got to remember too, it's like a lot of people don't realize. So like when someone thinks they're tough, and I tell this to kids, and they look at me like I'm crazy. Are you willing to die to do something? And if your answer is no, you can't do it. Like it doesn't bother me. Like let's say I died in MMA or I died skydiving or you have to let go of the fear. Like when I'm up there and you see me in a face off and I'm looking at someone, I mean, do I look scared? When I'm
no,
at the table, do I look emotion? I have no emotions. Like for that
no, yeah.
for that 5 minute window, I don't care. And that's what makes me different than most
Mm-hmm.
people. Like, some people like the shake and stuff like that. Like I don't care. I'm there for business. That 5 minute window, I'm paid to be a badass, and that's what has to happen.
So maybe I. So maybe I do have it in me, and I don't know because you said, "Are you willing to die for something?" Like I literally, I served in the Air Force,
Yeah.
and I was a weapons troop. So like maybe maybe I do have it in me. I don't know. I feel like before I had kids, I was fearless, but now that I have kids, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go skydiving. I'm I'm not gonna go on that roller coaster. Like I'm more a little bit more terrified now that I have kids. But I don't know. So on Road to the Title, we've seen that there is technique and training that goes into this. What does your regimen look like going into your matchups?
It's just a lot of footwork, hand placement, foot placement, a lot of little things, even that people don't understand that I do. Um, and I'm not going to say everything, but so in the Delvin match, in the Hamlet match, me and Delvin, I barely hit him my first hit, so that was a mistake. But my hand was proper. Everything else was proper, like my distance, like everything. So because I messed up, I knew what I did wrong because everything else is right. So I just try to be technical. So that's what I do. Just technical, 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 technical. So I work on my feet and I work on my hand placement because that's what they're looking at is your feet and your hand.
And I'm glad you say that because after I understood the rules to power slap it, I found it more enjoyable to watch. But then like sometimes it's hard to watch because there's people with not as much experience and they get disqualified because of the foul. So I think it's actually really important that you focus on being more technical because I don't feel like a lot of these new guys focus on that as much, and that's kind of what kills them.
I agree, and also like in the same boat as any of my matches not being been entertaining, like any of them, regardless if
No,
I won or
you're one
lost.
of the most no, you're one of the most exciting
So
strikers to
so win or
watch.
loss, mine are entertaining. Like the crowd's there, they're awesome, they're ready for it. They're like, I mean, I read the comments and it's always like, as soon as I win a coin toss, it's like, oh man, it's all different now. Like the show is different. Like, oh man, Vern's got this one. And then it's the opposite way.
Yeah.
If I lose the coin toss, they're just like, oh, I don't know. I mean, does he got it in him? So I have an entertaining match every time. So and I'm a paid entertainer. Like regardless, this is a sport and it's violent, but you're paying me to entertain everyone. So by them
Yep.
by them knowing that the biggest odds out of anyone in Power Slap to knock someone out is me, it's like people are like they're watching. Like they're not like, oh, I'm gonna go get a drink or something like that. Like, oh, Vern's up. We're watching this. So that's what I take pride in is that regardless if I win or I lose, it's entertaining for the masses and for everyone that's watching.
Absolutely, and I respect that because sometimes people just show up for like a paycheck, but it's like you, like I even said it in the intro, like you're one of the most entertaining people to watch, and if anyone has watched Road to the Title, like Dana's face lit up, and he like you were probably one of the most exciting people that he's was like raving about on the show because, like you said, someone's getting knocked out, and 98% of the time it's not you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you just have that incredible knockout power. It's insane. How are you feeling going into Power Slap 8 and what do you think like how do you think it's going to all go down?
Well, honestly, I think it's going to get pretty heated once we get there and we're doing the weigh-ins and just in general. I'll probably be recording a lot of footage, and because Turpin's a shit talker, so we never know what's going to be said, and we both got to be at the apex. We both got to be places. So the beginning of that's going to be crazy. I truly believe everyone's going to come in on weight. We're not going to have an issue there. So I'm not really worried about that. And just, I think, after the last match, Delvin hit me harder than anyone's ever hit me. So I think I can take three. And I think, I honestly think Turpin can take three. But the first two, I'm doing all I can to take his head off. Like everything I can to knock him out. The third one, if he's not down, I'm going to talk to my coach. We're going to play it out, and we're going to see if I win by points, what I have to do. I can't, if a win is a win to me, and if I have to do it by going all 3 rounds and not knocking him out because he had a penalty and I never did, I'm going all 3 rounds and I'm not going to get a penalty.
I don't think it's going the distance. I fully expect a knockout. Do you have like a regimen like going into the fight like when you're waiting backstage, do you like listen to certain kind of music? Do you take a nap? Like what's that kind of look like for you?
Oh, I take a nap. I try to get my drug test out of the way early so I can pee and just get that done with, and I don't have to deal with that. Other than that, drink some water. Uh, I make sure I take my ginger before I even leave and get there. So yeah, I'm good. Don't laugh about the
And
ginger.
no, I actually I juice and I put ginger in my juice, so I wasn't laughing about that.
Yep.
No,
It helps.
that's
It
great.
helps with upset stomach. So it's another thing to calm me down.
Yeah, it's really good for you. I feel like it's like anti-inflammatory and
Yeah. Yep.
all these properties. Yeah, I'm a juicer, so I drink a juice in the morning, like fresh vegetables and fruits.
I'm no
So I
longer on the
wasn't even
juice because I
thinking.
got to get drug tested. But yeah, yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Wait, not that kind of juice. After your match with Turp Daddy Slim, if you beat him, what next? What's next for you? You believe is a title shot
You know, I
against Wolverine?
I think it should be, but we never know. I mean, they might end up going Wolverine versus Rivera, and then I have to take a match out. But the main goal is to get through this one, and after that, just kick ass and take names still. So that's the plan.
Hell yeah. What was it like living in the Road to the Title House? I watched a lot of reality TV, and that's really cringy to admit.
It's horrible.
But like, I feel like being a contestant, it's like a pressure cooker. So like,
It was horrible.
do you guys
Horrible.
get your phones taken away
Yeah.
and
No
stuff? Like,
phone,
how's that?
no TVs, no radio, no music, no nothing besides food, alcohol, and beds. And you get to go work out. But so you ever notice that every time you saw me on TV, my shirt was off?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not even like, because my fight's towards the end, so I'm not even cutting weight. And by the time I cut weight, so I'm like chunky throughout this whole thing. My shirt's off. That's because it's 2 a.m. and people are arguing, and my bed is right there, and I'm just like, that's like when they got in that one fight and you saw me in my hand, like I'm just in my bedroom, just like this, just shaking my head. I'm like, it's another 2 o'clock in the morning. People getting angry.
I kind of feel like that's where people started like gifting you the name of like the father and the grandfather because like there would always be like fights like with Azael and against the whole house, and you're like, go to bed, dude.
Yeah, it is. It's not for the weak. It's definitely not for the weak. So, yeah.
Would you ever go back on as a coach?
Oh yeah, if they want me to coach, yeah, heck yeah,
You would.
yeah, I'd do it.
Who would you want the other coach to be?
Ooh, man, honestly, if I win, if I win this one against Turpin and they give me a break or something, and they're doing another reality show to get more guys on there, I think me and Austin would probably be the best bet, and then throw us in a rematch for the show.
You've been in the top rankings since Power Slap started, basically. But would you ever see yourself moving up or down to try to see how your body would deal with competing in a different weight division?
I would, if they wanted me to go to 185, I'd do it. If they wanted me to go, I wouldn't go past 230. Like I would not do that. I just, for my health aspect, I just wouldn't do that. And going down to 185, it would have to be, a run, because I weigh 225, like walking around. So that'd be 40 pounds. I would look jacked. I would look awesome, but
Mm-hmm.
that's still 40 pounds off. So I love food. My friend has a barbecue store. Like, my friend barbecues. Like, so that's a problem with me. Food is a problem.
I'm a foodie myself. I totally get it.
Yep.
Um, and it's probably not good for your health, like the amount, like dropping up and down all the time. You
I
know.
I mean, I agree with you, but it's still a sacrifice that you have to be willing to do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, who wants to live to be 100? Clock me out at 82 and I'll be fine.
We'll check back here and on your 82nd birthday and see where we're at. Okay, so there was like a new rule change. If you lost your match by disqualification, then you defer the coin toss. Is that doesn't affect your matchup, right? Because he won, but he was overweight. So
It
how did
affects my
that
it
work out?
affects my
Like, how does that
matchup.
work?
Yeah, technically, when you miss weight, you also defer your coin toss.
Wow, so you get the first slap.
Per the rules, yes.
How does your wife feel about you being in Power Slap, and will we see her at Power Slap 8?
Yes, she's only missed one of them, so yeah, she'll be there. She enjoys it. She says she's like enjoys everyone else's matches until it's mine, and then she's all like holding her breath and like, But as soon as I hit them and they fall to the ground, she's like the crazy woman in the crowd yelling, and it's like that's my man. It's like that. So yeah,
Yeah. How do your kids feel about you doing things? Do the like are they old enough to understand power slap and the things that go on in there, or do they watch your matches?
yeah, they understand everything. My daughter didn't like it at first, but my first win on the series was before Christmas, and she was all upset. And I was like, she didn't want me to do it and all that. And I was like, well, I guess I'll take your Christmas gifts away from the money I just won.
Right.
So yeah, they're okay now. They get it. They just know Dad's gonna do it, and it is what it is.
Are you training them for the Highland Games or anything like that?
My son is a very good football player, so he's doing that. He wrestled all through junior high. He just got into high school. He is six. I do believe he's 6'1" now, like 180 pounds, 190 pounds, and he's 14 years old. So yeah, he'll if he wants to go further in sports, he can. He's got his mother's genes. She was a thrower, and her family was rather large. So yeah.
Do you still compete in the Highland Games or do powerlifting?
No, no, I have not. No.
You don't plan to anymore?
I'll probably and when I'm done with this, I'll probably start doing some grip competitions, and I'll train for that. I just never want another sport to like cause an issue with the sport I'm doing. So like I don't want to tear a bicep and have to call, Erica and be like, "Hey, I'm out for, 6 months because my bicep's torn." So yeah, I'll just keep it to power slap.
Do you ever practice with your other hand?
Yeah, yep. And I'm horrible. So if I ever break my hand in a match, I'm going to continue using it until we're done, and then we'll fix it when I'm done.
Hey, that's fucking badass.
Yeah, you'll know it too. I'll look at it and I'll be like, "Well, we got to keep going." Like I'm not going to stop. Like even if I tore my bicep or did anything, I'm just going to keep going. we'll fix it later.
And what are your final thoughts going into Power Slap 8 against Turf Daddy Slim?
My final thoughts is, I hope he keeps shit talking. I hope he keeps getting me pissed off. And I want to go out there and that's what I like about every time I win. It's like, ooh, what if? There's a lot of what ifs, and I actually love that when I win because like, oh, if he wouldn't have went first, or oh, I just think it's funny to like listen and read what everyone says about me, and I learned a long time ago, you're never gonna stop the haters. They're just gonna be haters. So just read it and laugh about it. So
Mm-hmm.
like going first and winning the coin toss, and let's say I knock him out in the first one, everyone's gonna be like, well, he never got touched. I mean, it's just rigged. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I get a lot of hate that way, and I don't care. I'm going into it knowing that I got fans, I got haters. As long as they're all watching me, I care less.
Exactly. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to say to Turf Daddy Slim going into this match? Because he had a whole lot to say about you on social media.
Oh man, just Turp Daddy not so slim. I hope keto's going good. I want to see you there. Hopefully you don't have to get naked to weigh in because that's going to be an issue. We don't want to harm the little kids in the area, but so yeah, Turp Daddy Slim, just come in and be ready. That's all I want you to be. It's fucking ready.
Hell yeah, let's go. I'm ready to watch. Where can people follow you on social media?
You can look me up on Facebook. It's Vernon Cathy. You can type in my name on Instagram, Vernon Cathy. The great part is there's only one Vernon Cathy, so it just pops right up.
Do you have anything new and exciting that you want to share with the fans that's coming up?
Man, other than me, I'm going to start taking my test to be a pilot. Just doing remodel stuff around the house, just trying to stay busy. And, the goal with this is to, continue making money, continue doing stuff for Dana, and just to build a happy life with my family. So that's just the goal. Just keep going with it. It's all I'm doing.
That's all exciting stuff. Being a pilot, that's actually insane. When you get older, house things actually get you really excited.
It does. It does.
And family, like you just want to spend all your time with your family. That's the biggest blessing, and your time's limited with them. So, well, thank you so much for coming to the Penny Corner. I look forward to watching your match at Power Slap 8. June 28th in Las Vegas. And for any of the viewers that are watching, if you can't make it to the match, be sure to watch live and free on Rumble. See you next Tuesday and stay petty, bitches.